Not after, well, not adopted. 5 nurses. Well, not the only time when they're doing blood. But a lot of nurses there and stuff. And staff and stuff. But I can't remember if it was someone with it that was there, like, I guess it's almost every day. Like, it was constant. And they were there since the day I got there. And they said they can tell that I wasn't there, like, I really did have bad reasoning for how I act, but good bad. And they're sorry that you're not a bad kid. Yeah, there's a difference. Because some kids choose to behave the way they behave. You have a reason to why you behave. Actually, some of the kids there, some of them were there because they do have mental problems, and I don't say that anymore. Yeah, but some of them were good, but it was pretty sad. You know, for no reason. Mm-hmm. They're by choice. Yeah. But yet, but you can't. So, like, you know who? Like that one. So, but even they were, yeah, like and that not they were sorry. Yeah. Well, no, like, I guess how I understood it was like, they're not sorry, but are sorry. They were empathetic that you pretty much had the type of life that you've had to go through what you had to go through. Yeah. But at the same time, kind of not, because you kind of look at it as a good thing, because it's not full of experiences. You wouldn't be who you are today. And we're also have been lucky to my brother. So, and to the fact that I hold them so dear, is that a good thing? That's true, because a lot of families don't have that relationship. That's why I get upset when a lot of people come for our relationship. Like, y'all that darn jealous that y'all families are not as close as we are, and try to come and mess up our dynamic. Like, what's wrong with y'all? You know what I mean? Like, what's so what? We're close. It's not unhealthy. Families are supposed to be tight. You're not supposed to hate your loved ones. You're supposed to love them and be there for them, not backstab them. Like, ever since we've moved down here, everybody's tried to split up our family dynamic. They've been trying to get Beba to move out. They've been trying to get, because we're here. You can't sit where we are. And and I don't understand why. Like, why are you trying to get my kid to move out? Like, why are you trying to ask my kids? Am I trying to use them? Like, what the fudge? Why can't I just be a mom who loves her children? Is it that difficult? What type of childhood did you have? Is it hard for you to believe that I love mine? I mean, if yours doesn't love you, that's personal. And it sounds like your problem, not mine.
just can't get mad. You know when I tell you I put people speechless because I keep going till you can't have nothing to come back with?
Mm-hmm.
I do that to everybody that I consider in the category of a bully. And that's awesome. And that's sometimes why I also got in trouble when I was younger. And sometimes I would find a bully of a teacher or a bully of an adult. And just because I was a child, they thought, they could do whatever, tell them whatever, not realizing that just because I'm a child doesn't mean I can't understand. And like you say all the time, if I see BS, I'm going to call you out on your BS. And especially if you're asking me to tell the truth. Why in the heck would I lie? Mama didn't raise no liar. And I would actually say that. Because sometimes I would have to go savage. And I think it was mostly on my bullies. And even if they don't understand what I'm saying, little baby language, kid language to now, but I'll clear it up now. Mama ain't raised no liars, and just because you want to look like you're the best person in the world and the only one that matters, don't mean you have dragged the rest of us in. And just because you see the world in one way doesn't mean I have to see it in the same. It's called being independent.
Right.
That's what my mama raised me to be.
All mind, your own opinion. Just because you have autism and mental health doesn't mean you're not your own person.
I can say it now because I kind of see where in these certain events where it will come out. Like, for example, I had a bully on one of my buses when I was a kid. Oh, I remember the bully. Remember the bully that kept taking my lunch after my lunch, and I kept coming home, and I didn't want to tell you nothing. Then I told you, and then then you gave me permission not to, unless they put their hands on me first. Then permission to to beat the shit out of them. But if not, to verbally defend myself, but not to curse. But if they kept cursing up a storm at me, then don't just sit back and take it. Then you will have my permission to curse them out. So I did that, and they stopped with like I'm in there. But they also tried, but because I know I kept doing what you taught me, but not taught me. The pretty much basic skills. I see the BS. I look. If they give me an opportunity and they're trying to trick me with BS, I look for it. Once I see it, I will call you out on it. Because why are you trying to bother with me with BS because you don't like me? You may not have to like me. We don't have to talk. Yeah, we're on the same bus. Don't mean you have to talk to each other. I have my headphones and my little phone my mom just got me for the first time. Well, sometimes I can't remember if Donna broke. That's a long story. But, and you have yours. And you talk to whoever else is on the bus because we also have other kids. So, and I ain't even talking to you. You know I don't. Especially if I don't like the person, I ain't gonna talk to them. So they start. And then the one time I do start something, it's defensive because they're still being a bully. But you can have your opinions, and you can also, and that's okay, but also not okay because no one should have a messed up childhood. But that doesn't mean to become the person that messed you up in the first place.
Right.
Does that make any sense? And yeah, that could have been how the way you survived and you got out, but haven't you seen now? You're out. What more can they hold over you now if you already left? If you're stable and left, then there's really nothing.
Right.
And I'm not saying you have to cut them off, but if they still don't get it that you want to be your own person, like your own things, and find your way in life, like you're supposed to, then you do what you have to do.
Right.
But I know for one thing, if I was in that shirt, into those shoes, I'd choose the path that made me happy. And if I had a family with me, what makes them happy. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna force them to be how I see them, how I see my family to be just like me. I see them to be their own individual person. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Preach, girl, preach. You won't. You got this.
Like, there's a difference. There's a difference between showing respect to an adult and, you know, going overboard and showing no respect. And obviously, a lot of calls from you for evidence. I've been testing out which ways are right and wrong because
Did she? Did she? Boy, did she get the cops called on her a couple of times.
hey, it ain't my fault. But you want to finish. There's some people can't handle what they thought they could handle.
You got a point there.
They could handle me.
You got a point. They did say that when I asked.
And they also swore to you. Even if they made me pissed off, they can handle me. They made me pissed off. No control on it. You know the bitch side. You know the okay, you want to be funny side? Let's be funny. And yeah, sometimes I take it overboard. But if I was actually able to tell you what would really be happening and be going on the detail for detail, and that's the way I used to say it, you would be right there beside me acting a fool. Some of those times. And some of those times, you would actually be somewhere else chewing up someone else because if they would be watching us better, this wouldn't have happened. And yeah. And then some cases, other people try to save their own tail. And you either you don't know what to say, but all I know you do know what to say. Because I'd be summing up to one thing. Because you didn't give me options. Did I start the fight? Or did I defend myself? Those are the only two options I can get to decide my fate. Luckily, you don't want to pass the phone because a lot of times it wasn't. Well, it wasn't defending yourself in this reality. This is a real reality. In my head, though, I was defending myself. But in the reality, I wasn't. You figured out that, later on during the line.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Hello? But yeah, the difference between being respectfully rude and being plain old rude. And yes, I'm still learning it because sometimes, without realizing it, my rude will come out. And I'm in the middle of loving, so I don't realize my rude came out till at the end. But there is a difference that you always have to keep in mind. And there's a point where you can be till that respect is broken. And it could be on either side, is the funny part. Because you can be respectful, but the person you're showing respect to isn't respectful to you. Then on that case, you can start being funny. And you know what I mean by funny? Slipping in here and there, disrespectful, but respectful words. But what I mean by disrespectful, I mean, okay, I start off respectful, then here comes a disrespect, and then respectful, and then a disrespect, and then you still haven't caught on and still acting arrogant. Okay, let me just be blunt because it's taking too long. Disrespect, disrespect, disrespect. Explanation for disrespect and disrespect. Then peace. It's a funny thing is because when people see me being quiet and stuff and not causing no problem, but also not showing any interest to be involved in no problem. I don't know if it's because I show no interest to be involved in no problem. Because I also show no interest to at first to show. Even though I do want to make friends, I don't show that much interest into it because I don't know how to. So I don't show much interest. I end up do getting friends, but you know, I also get bullied because they think lonely, he's in charge. You know? Then I show them my mama side. And then you would respect my mama side. Respect. Then I disrespect. Then respect. And then I disrespect. And then they still bully. Then disrespect, disrespect, disrespect. And then there's an occasion where two occasions. First occasion, I say apologize, mom, in my head, curse, and double life curse. That shuts them up for the whole day because they don't expect me to curse. No one ever actually expects me to curse.
Because you don't look like that type.
That type usually go too far and think that just because I don't curse, literally, a lot of times, some of the bullies will tell me, you're so weak, you're too chicken to curse. It's not like you're lying wrong to me and I do. Like, that also lead up to my fights. Huh? You know? Because a lot of the times when they do, before they put their hands, try to put their hands on me and say, they would say how I'm too chicken because I'm so respectful to do anything and da da da. And so, you know, I can't do that. Sometimes some of them would also mention you, my mama, and I'm like, okay, so I should make my mama proud, right? Sorry, mama, but this mama side is about to shut up. And I release the inner mama. And that's when they can't handle it and call you or call the cops.
What do they like calling cops?
Yes, they do. But the funny part is, a lot of the times, and remember the times that they do, even though they end up do call MCF, but they end up, I don't know if they tell you in the end, but like sometimes I'll hear like from the teachers at school that they closed it. They talk about the closing of the case, and a lot of times it's because there was evidence to show like actually the other party started it. So I was pretty much right, like
defending yourself.
Yeah. And they, even though they were trying to act all innocent. So, like, and that's how I got known to the cops in Connecticut. the respectful but most disrespectful crazy kid. At least that's what I call myself. Because boy, I got along with all of them, the ones that we met. Well, except for the one in Danbury. I do have to call that Mercy, because that one I almost tried to get his hand off. You know how I bite. And I was going with no mercy. But that was when I was going back to hospital. But yeah, you be disrespectful. Like, and then if they're just begging to be a fight, I will explain. My mama said I cannot touch nobody unless they touch me first. And then you know the stupid part is sometimes some of them actually say, "Oh, really?" And then I go, "Well."
Dumbasses. What did they think was gonna happen?
Exactly. Almost like this time, like for example, time where it's around the time that we're graduating, so 8th grade. Actually, it was before I went back to the hospital in 8th grade. So it was a few months before that. I guess this was when it started becoming depression. But also not, because I didn't like what they did. They did that, remember, no, it's probably a few weeks, because they were doing these classes, not classes, activities in the afternoon every Wednesday. And I hated them. Oh. They were you know how you don't like people tell you to breathe and this and this and this, especially if you know it doesn't work? Well, they pretty much put all that in the class. Their activities. And they're trying to, I'm just going to say, to reinforce the positivity. And then they try to make you participate. And they don't stop nagging until you participate. And especially, you know me, if I don't like it, I ain't going to participate. And then you nag me to participate, I ain't doing it.
Especially because you got nagged.
Yeah. I think that was around the time you were going to get mad at me about this, but you didn't because you understood and you were actually congratulating me because I tried to verbally say it. And you did get that it was school schedule and all that, and that counts as classes and all that. But at the same time, you were respecting.
I remember.
Because I kept running and hiding.
Yeah, I remember. You
Yep. What? I took a nap somewhere. And I remember thinking, I'll have therapy with my brother and my mommy because they're my family. I can tell them everything. I ain't having a group therapy with half these kids that bully me, no offense. Not half. Just a couple. And then some others that got bad turns, but we were okay, but not that. Yep. Okay. But plus, you already know I didn't like therapy, period. And then, yeah, you already know I didn't like therapy, period. Yeah. And then their type of therapy, no thanks. Especially because they were doing therapy, yeah, but therapy as classes, so you know there was a lesson behind. Yeah, no thanks. You're just ruining that for me, and I couldn't let them do that. No thanks. So, but yeah, the one at a time that they actually caught me because I was on my way to a hiding spot. I did not expect to run into a teacher. That one time I slipped up. And they found me. So I went back to the group, and I think this was before and after the one that I chose to give attention by before because I couldn't really do nothing because attention is attention.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't count as attention, just because I didn't want to go to another group. So that was the better option. So yeah, because we either participate, because they were also saying, because I wouldn't participate either. So if I ain't gonna participate, also, so that's also when I started. Because I was like, you're making me sit in a chair, pretty much watching the time go by. Can't use my phone, can't use no computer, don't have nothing, like can't do nothing pretty much, except write or do work. And I mean, like, if I had homework and a lot, and especially because on those Wednesdays you don't really get homework. Like, and also some of the homework I'm used to do with you, so I'm like, so you have me in a room, and you know how I am. I cannot sit still. They had me having to sit still from the time it started till the end of the day, which was after lunch till the end of the day. You really think I was gonna sit that long, Mom? It was hell the first time. I wasn't going back. So I went off to comfy places and took naps. You're gonna have me in this boring school, and there's no way to take a little downstairs. And I'm not gonna use the and then if you were born, they would have like you words weren't that bad, but they weren't. You were already born, so words were
I got you.
So yeah, that went. But back to the point. I don't know if you remember because I also broke down that day because I was. You were happy that I left, but not. But okay, not my face. You were relieved that I didn't go as far as I did, and that. But I also did the right thing, but the wrong thing because I left the building afterwards. But I was still with. I was on the side of the building, but outside. But you were happy that because I had left from that situation because I was a fight and she triggered me. Because you know me, I'm gonna be doing whatever it is to entertain me, and if I don't feel like joining them, they were doing at that time. Coincidentally, they were doing balloons and something with balloons with actual helium. Because the teacher actually that was supposed to do in that class actually put helium in the balloons. I was not in the best moods to be there, and so. And this time, they didn't even ask me to participate. Participate if I want to, as long as I just stay with the group. That's all they asked. At this point. Anyways, I was poking it with this, I think a broom, or there was a whole bunch of, that was the math, that was the science classroom of the 6th grade, and there was stuff in there that was long 6-1 things. But I think it was a broom. I was poking out because there was a loose balloon on the ceiling. So I was poking up the side I was poking it up to, poke it, just do something. So I could be left alone. Like, so, exactly. Pretty much same thing, except around back up here. So I guess I was putting it near here, and I wouldn't even touch the girl. Yeah, it was close, but like me right here. I'm literally standing this close. Broomstick right here, poking the ceiling. Yeah, I guess that's nerve-wracking to you. Not nerve-wracking. Disturbed to you, but I wasn't even touching you or near you. Well, not near. I wasn't touching you or saying anything to you. Not even looking at you. And then all of a sudden, she said, better not, hit me or, like, whack her, something, anything with that stick. I'm gonna beat your ass. Or I'm gonna slap the fuck out. And she also said I should do it near her one more time. She can do that too. And so I did it again because you know me. I ain't bothered because I was, I was already in a bad mood, so the attitude came out, and I was like, I didn't touch you with the freaking bone, whatever I was holding, and we're like, it's not for me. And she was like, yeah. And what how I took it, she was trying to put me in my place and saying that I was too chicken enough to do that about her because I wasn't rude again. And then I did it again. She slapped me. So you know what? I was like, oh no, it's getting on. Afterwards, went rolling for a bit. I think I had it to the floor a couple of times. I like it. Also ripped some of her hair out. And yeah. Then the teacher pulled us apart. Then yeah. You need some water? Because I was just minding my own business. And I was disrespected because, yeah, I was too close to you. Okay, I'm too close. You can say, you are too close. Can you please back up? And then I would back up. But threatening to slap me because I'm doing something because I don't want to be here, but I don't want to take my anger out on nobody because you taught me better. Even though I was taking out what I was happy about because I wasn't around anyone too. So I wasn't disturbing them and they weren't disturbing me. I was happy. I'm not happy and I'm not trying to take it out on nobody because nobody deserves to be, that way. Treated that way, so. And then you come and treat me the same way I'm trying not to treat people. Fine, you're gonna get the bitch. And no one thought I would fight.
I thought you wasn't capable of it.
Well, no. They've seen, I think it was, they've seen me fight a couple of times before. Because I got in arguments. But,
not to cut you off, do we have enough potato to make a small amount of potatoes?
I think so.
Because we gotta start seasoning that meat. It's already 7:26.
Okay.
Last time I said I wanted to start that. Oh, cool.
I think they didn't see that kind of anger. I think this was a couple of days after I actually cursed in front of them for the first time, maybe. Oh, I like TV, but I like. Because they didn't expect me to curse either. Oh, I get that. But I do remember it was around these times because they also didn't expect me to be also so artistic when I cut a gun out of a giant piece of paper. Sorry. It actually did look like a gun. And they were amazed. Well, not amazed. They wanted to know. It was a giant piece of paper. It was just funny looking. It was one of the cartoon ones. That's why. With the long barrel. But yeah, that was before during the time period of that because I remember the following days of some blurs, and then the biggest day when I had the breakdown, and then they had to call you to come to the school. And then that was the first time I ever actually asked to get in the hospital. I know. Now you calm me down. You couldn't even calm me down. Don't take water.
I knew something if I couldn't do my job. Because I know my job very well.
No. And that's why saying the house. Like, yeah, I think I need to go this morning now. Even mom can calm me down because once after a while you having that conversation, if I finally had a little bit of clarity, and I was like, yeah, I have to go. So this is enough clarity to calm myself down. and you're like, I actually do need to go.
Alright.
Like, and a lot of people see mental people as either those who take care of them, some of them see them as a dollar bill, like cash money, or a nuisance. And then there are those who actually see those people who are suffering from it and, see what they're going through. They may not understand it completely, but at least they can see that it ain't an easy road. And yeah, taking care of us ain't easy, but they also see healing us. And yeah, you can deal with you can give you the attitude, you can give you the daily problems, the daily necessities. Some can't walk, some are missing a leg here and there, some have mental problems. I'm talking about any mental anybody who needs to get taken care of that we get an SSI check. Some people are in or ended up in a mental hospital or something like that, or a recovery hospital.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, some people are good athletes, and then it also helps that other people see that, yeah, they can see they need help, but it like takes over. That not even some people, yeah, you can be autistic, you can be low autistic or high autistic. Some people don't see the difference. Autistic is autistic, which means you don't know what's good for yourself. And then you're just confused about all this, and that whoever tells you this, it just trying to mislead you. But then we say the same for you. Because you're someone, and the person, a lot of times, it could be either family or, when it's not family, you can say, you ain't my family, so you haven't, dealt with me like that. You weren't there from when I was born to now. So you can't really say what was good for me because you don't know me. And yeah, you could talk from then and there, but how do you know all my memories are accurate? I admit myself I have a hard time remembering. And there's other people, like the people with, what was it called? That one that you lose your memory? Yeah, Alzheimer's or something like that. Then there's a big guarantee you lose part of your memory. So, how are you going to know that anything is right? Unless the first people, at the same time, if it's the people that are raising you, that's either they don't raise you or someone else raises you for them, then someone else will know who you are better than that. But if you were forced to raise yourself, then you know yourself better, and then history show that you raised you. So then there's no one that can tell you that you don't know what's right for you because they don't know. But at the same time, not to take that as an excuse to go wild and become a bully just because you're tired of being the victim.
Correct.
You don't need to be a bully to not be the victim. Can't you be in between? That's what people are, between good and evil.